However, today we're going to inscribe a circle in a given triangle. I've drawn triangle ABC, and we're going to use the angle bisectors because the angle bisectors intersect at the end center, and that's the point that's equidistant from all three sides of the triangle. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose two of my angles to bisect. Now, it does not really matter which two that I choose. I'm going to choose to bisect angle A, first of all, and then I'll do angle C. So I'm going to open my compass so that I can get a nice, cut some arcs from angle A. We've done angle bisectors before, so I know that these give me points that I can move my compass point to, and I can cut arcs in the middle of the angle, measuring from the compass point. I get a new point. Now, this point, along with point A, will give me an angle bisector. And as much as possible, I'm trying to get this to be accurate for you, but I want you to understand, I've mentioned this before, that I'm having to reach way over because of the way this is set up. So it's not quite as easy, and it may not appear quite as nice as when you do it yourself. I want to come to point C and do an angle bisector, and I can change the measure of the compass, but I don't have to. So I'm going to cut arcs here. And then from these points, I'm going to cut arcs in the center, hoping that they don't interfere with my other angle bisector. You have to be careful because you're going to have some overlap. There, you see, they're very close. But this point, where these two intersect, and that's one reason why I'm not putting letters in here, because we're going to fill up the space. If I connect this point with point C, I will get the angle bisector for angle C. And so when I draw this line bisects angle C. Now I did not do, actually I drew a ray, but I did not do angle B, but if I did, it would also intersect at that same point, and that point is called the end center. Now, from this point, from this end center point, this is going to be the center of my circle that I'm going to inscribe inside of this triangle. From that point, I need to know my radius. I can't just go out to anywhere. I have to go out exactly, because notice that I told you the end center is equidistant from all three sides. And if it's equidistant from all three sides, then that means it's going to be perpendicularly equidistant. So I need to construct a perpendicular. So the way this triangle is set up, it will be easier for me to construct a perpendicular from this point, this end center point, to line segment AC. To do that, I'm going to put my compass point at the end center point, and I'm going to cut arcs on line segment AC. Now we know if I go to these new arcs, these points that have just been made, and I cut arcs above and below the line segment using that same measure, because it's the same radius measure, that this end center point, and I am going to call that I right now, because you know that's the end center, and this point, if I connect them, I will get a perpendicular. Now I want you to understand, though, this is not a perpendicular bisector. This is just a perpendicular. It doesn't really look like it, but I've constructed this to be a perpendicular from point I through line segment AC. And obviously you can tell it's not a perpendicular bisector. It's just perpendicular to the side. If we were to have done this on any other side, we would also get a perpendicular. And the distance should be from this point here to here should be the radius of our circle. Now, this is a disclaimer. Simply because, now I want to measure this, and you can see that's much too large. I've got to make my compass smaller. Invariably, when I'm reaching over like this and I'm not looking straight down on something that I'm constructing, then it's not always as exact as we would like it to be. Your construction should be much better than mine because you can look right down on it and have it right immediately in front of you. Okay, I think that I have this adjusted enough that when I go from point I to this perpendicular and I start to draw my circle, this circle should touch. See, I was a little bit off right on that side. Oops, I didn't mean to pick it up. Let's do this again. That's something you have to really be careful of too, is when you pick it up and move it. If I had done this correctly or accurately or more exactly, these would be points of tangency here and here. And you can see that one's a little bit off. But that would have been, if I'd have drawn that radii would be the same as this radii, the same as this radius, or all the radii would be the same. And they would be perpendicular as well. Now I didn't I'm just freehanding right now to show you. This would have been perpendicular, and connecting these 2 points would have been perpendicular, because the end center is equidistant from all 3 sides of a triangle. So we have inscribed a circle in a given triangle. Now you need to draw several triangles and practice this. It does not matter. I want you to do some equilateral, some isosceles, maybe some right triangles. Do them larger if you need to on a larger piece of paper, but practice this and you will see yours will probably be a lot better than mine. Have fun.